helping me out. Okay.
You're just the secretary taking notes.
Okay, we're live.
Okay, so a motion was made by Ed and seconded by Lisa to do a 3% increase for David. And the discussion was held about the process. That's executive session stuff.
Yeah.
Then a motion was made to adjourn at 9:20.
I forget who made it. Dave Converse was.
Yeah, give it to Dave.
Okay. Sure. Okay. All right.
So I guess we can open this meeting now then, right? I'll call to order the meeting of the Governance Committee meeting for December 15th. And if you look at their agenda, we have the bylaw review, mission statements, performance measures, deposition of real property
Recording
guidelines,
in progress.
Sorry,
all of those items, which are kind of, I won't say rubber stamp, but there's a couple of things in there that I think we need to look at. So reverting back to staff, Dave, we had a couple of minor changes in the bylaws, right? We did.
Nothing this year.
No, this
Nothing?
year.
Nothing
Last
proposed.
year we cleaned up some language because there was some
Okay.
awkward language, some kind of was self-conflicting. We cleaned that up last year.
Are there any proposed changes to the bylaws from staff?
Nope. The other thing we added last year was a whole new policy on remote meetings and such as well too. So
But I thought there was some, like 3 months ago, there was some little ditty.
oh, no, you're thinking about the loan policy.
Was that it?
Yeah, we did the lending policy.
Lending
Yeah.
policy we
All right.
cleaned up. Yeah, so that was taken care of.
All right, so we don't need to deal with that in any of these categories today. All right. So with that, if there's nothing to address in the bylaws, correct, from both board and staff? Not, we can move on to reviewing mission statements and performance measures. If you look at, we have an annual performance measurement grid or template we use.
I hate to interrupt, Ed. Did you mention disposition of real property? Were we
Yeah.
good? Is that on?
Yeah, that's the next one, I believe.
Okay.
The performance measure form in here. It's a one-page form, right?
2 pages.
2
But,
pages.
yeah.
Okay, all right. That's not filled out currently, right, for the year?
Yeah.
Well, it is. The goals are listed. I was starting to do the results on this side, but we won't know that until we start asking for appointment numbers and other things. So that part can't be completed yet.
All right, so I guess for the, as we're taking action to present to the full board, can we review that at the next full board meeting? Would we be in a position?
Yeah, because that's just, the results part is mainly for ABO.
Yeah.
So once
Yeah.
I think the report's due April 1st, we just have to have that completed and
Yeah.
upload it to them.
But still, it's a good barometer for us, you
Yeah,
know, ourselves. If you look at, that was on page 20 of our file. I'd like to seriously consider that at the board meeting. Anybody else have any comments regarding that? That was,
On the performance measurement,
yeah,
I think it should be
Yeah.
shared with the whole board.
okay. So back up to the agenda. What's the next item here? All right, so deposition of real property guidelines. Reviewing the following policies and procedures. Number 1 is deposition of real property. Do you have something on that, Paul?
No, I just know you mentioned it.
Okay.
Yeah.
The LDC doesn't own a lot of property.
no.
All right.
We don't have investments either, but we have to have an investment policy.
Yeah. And procurement, same thing. All right, so that being said, let's jump to the board evaluations. Everybody has had a chance to review them.
And I'll just point out again, I mean, this is considered a confidential board evaluation, so if there's elements of it you want to discuss, I don't think there's anything we're worried about, but if there's anything you do want to discuss in executive session, you're able to do that by law.
What's the wishes of everyone
Copy
here?
of that, I don't have. In my computer reading, if you want.
I don't have anything that I think to discuss that would deem it to need to be an executive session.
I would agree.
Okay, so everybody's in agreement of accepting those board evaluations? And
Well,
report?
the board evaluations have consistently gotten better over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still, there's some things that I think are very hard for us as a board. You know, the clear and measurable performance goals of the authority. There's a couple of people that have some concerns about that. The board knows the statutory obligations of the authority. I think that is something that we've always left at, you know. I think there's a couple areas where we can learn some more. But all in all, over the years of doing these, I think they've gotten consistently better over the last several years, the
Yeah, for
reviews.
sure.
Yeah.
So we have no one that completely disagrees with any of those statements.
Yeah. And that's to me, the caution light is when we move from somewhat agree to somewhat disagree. Though that's when I think we need to back out and have a discussion. So really seeing nothing there, it's I think good news. So, okay. So if there's no further discussion on our board evaluation, I'll entertain a motion to pass that along to the board to consider.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Okay, motion carries. All right. What else for LDC? Anything under other? If not, I guess we can adjourn for the LDC. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the governance committee meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We stand adjourned. So now we have JCIDA, correct?
This one compares to last year's.
Yeah, okay.
Here again. Let me get my computer back up. Same agenda.
The disposition of real property guidelines, is there suggested changes or we just have to acknowledge it every year?
Yeah, we have to acknowledge it.
Yeah, those policies, this is specifically, I mean, we review them all, I mean, on a regular basis, but by law, we have to review those in particular.
All right, so I'll call to order the meeting, the JCIDA Governance Committee meeting. Review our bylaws. Here again, we have no proposed changes, so current bylaws stand effective unless anyone has anything to raise an issue over or suggest. All right. Review mission statements, performance measures. Here again, we can do our official evaluation, our 2-page format.
Yeah, it won't be completed until probably February's meeting or even March, because we're gonna ask for this information
From-
starting in January.
From the projects.
Yeah.
Sometimes it
Yeah.
takes a couple letters
All right.
to nudge them.
We'll get there.
All right. All right. So we probably should clarify that then and not try and do it. All right.
Well, the policy itself is still gonna go, it's just the results won't be completely filled in.
Okay. All right. is everybody comfortable with that evaluation form? As far as criteria?
There's been no substantial changes from the previous one, has there?
No.
No, we've had these set of goals for, well, once we created the policy, I think.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So with that, then if there's nothing more for performance measurements, we can jump to review of the policies, procedures. Here again, categories, deposition of real property guidelines, no changes there. Investment policy, financial internal control, anything there from staff? Board? Part C, procurement policy, same thing applies, no changes.
And our audits have been good as it relates to those things since I've been here, so I can't see.
Yeah.
Unless there's some statutory requirements to change.
Yep.
For
Okay.
reporting guidelines, I don't think we need to change anything in those.
All right, so we can move into here again, board evaluation forms. Kind of mirror what's going on in the LDC. Any comments, concerns with board evaluation? Anything that needs to be discussed? If not, I'll entertain a motion to forward on to the full board.
So moved.
Second,
Yes.
all those in favor say aye.
Hey,
Motion carries. We do need a motion to do that, right?
Yeah.
All right. So with that, is there anything else that we need to address from anybody? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the governance committee meeting.
so moved.
Second,
Yes.
all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We stand adjourned. Here again, we've got LDC or CD.
Alphabet.
JCCFDC, have a good afternoon.
See you, Greg. Have a nice Christmas.
Yeah, happy holidays.
Thank you very much.
Good to see your face, sir. Don't be a stranger.
These are busy times.
Yeah.
Sure, especially.
I'll call to order the meeting of Jefferson County Civil Facilities Governance Committee meeting. Here again, same policy, the same agenda. Really nothing in any of those categories, correct?
The only performance measure is whether we collected our annual fees.
Yeah. That's a
All
real,
$4,000.
if there's nothing more, then yeah, jump to the the evaluation forms, and that's probably our A+ report card, right? Nothing.
I would say when it comes to the board's individual members' knowledge of what it does is that we don't do enough that I don't see how.
Well, I think the board's knowledge of our role in the process is the way I view it, and it's like very minimal.
Yeah.
You know, we're a conduit.
I'd like to tell you what the programs are, but I can't because we don't deal with them enough to understand all of them.
Well, and it's as I say, we're just a conduit, and
Yeah.
we allow the
But all in
transfer to
all,
happen.
the reviews are not bad.
Yeah.
There was one somewhat and it goes to the board members are knowledgeable about the authority's programs.
Yeah.
So,
Which, I mean, if there's enough concern, if we can always have an agenda and a session and a board meeting that, we get the bullet points.
problem with that is I think if we get an application, there's a time to explain what the roles are, because if we do one every 3 years, you're gonna have new board members and everyone's gonna forget what they were told.
Yeah, we're talking to one possibility right now. So.
Yeah. Well, I think that'll be
Town of Watertown?
Those are facilities,
See, that's the one thing I always ask, why
Yeah.
the
Check your calendar.
that event center, but that's not something we could do through civic facilities.
Yes.
It is, we could, actually, well, if it is.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
See,
No, not yet.
I don't know.
Well, they need to have, come to us through a bank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They haven't gotten that far yet.
But,
Yeah.
so, but I
Well,
would
no
move
worthy
we
point.
accept the evaluations and send them to the full board.
Is there a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, with that, I think there's no further business for governance committee meeting. Stand adjourned.
Adjourn.
Second.